Thursday, and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I am Anthony Totri.
Yeah, you are.
Joined, as always, by... Oh, no.
It's okay.
He spilled his beer.
We're okay. I thought it was a lot worse than it was.
Shane Diefenbach.
Yeah, I am.
To my left. Sean DePaz. To my right.
Yeah, he is.
Gents, how we doing on this Thirsty Thursday?
I'm all right.
Hands a little wet.
Hands a little... Well, now it is.
Let me learn from Shane's mistakes.
You better not spill.
I can't control that. There's nothing
Yeah.
to do about that one.
It's
I
a
didn't get
little-
it on me or anything else.
Little squirtage there. All good, though.
How
All
are you
good.
doing?
I'm doing good. My tummy was hurting this morning.
We heard.
Yeah.
They
So
didn't hear, though.
Everyone always asks, why would you say that, Totri, and not how are you doing, Totri?
yeah, I know. It always works like that, man. I don't know what to
It's like,
say.
wait, what? Tell me a second.
It is what it is, man. We're out here in the streets.
Hi, Lindsay.
Okay. Let's get into spring football. Why
You know
don't
what
we?
you just said?
What?
It is what it is, man. We're just out here in the streets.
Yeah.
We are not. In
Is
the
that
streets
is
right
that
It's
Are you in the streets?
completely inaccurate.
now.
what
Shane's
is
definitely
inaccurate?
not in the streets.
What is inaccurate
He
about
better
it?
not be in the streets at least.
Why shouldn't he be in the streets?
He's a married man.
Whoa.
You're a married man? Congratulations, bro.
Jesus.
Can I appreciate the wedding?
No.
No?
Can
I don't even know if you can come.
Dude, I want what?
Dude, if we didn't get invited to Shane's wedding, unless it happened like 20 years from now and we didn't work together for the last 10 years, it might be different. But
This is a soul bond.
Well, he's not getting married.
ever?
I mean, he didn't. Do you not want to? I thought we had this conversation.
Wasn't that about kids?
Oh yeah, it's about kids.
Why are we? I was. Just know that was all him. I wasn't trying to get
Hey,
down that route.
I just like to-
Before you get angry that I'm in a relationship, maybe look in the
I'm
mirror,
not.
Anthony
I'm
Totri.
not angry you're in a relationship. I'm happy you're in a relationship.
Didn't sound like it earlier.
No, I'm happy you're in a relationship, dude.
Shane definitely not in the streets.
Yeah.
I'm not in the streets because I spend a lot of time on my bed.
No, I'm definitely in the streets.
That's
It's what we do.
Hey, But you're good at being in the streets.
He's a street rat.
You carry
In
it. You carry
the
it
best
well.
way
Street
possible.
rat?
In the best way possible.
Where have I heard street rap before? It's Aladdin. Aladdin, they say that. Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Spring football.
Am I a
Spring
bad
football
person
is
for
only.
calling you a street rat then?
Huh?
Never mind.
No, that's actually. I feel like it's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, spring football is 19 days away, guys. It kind of snuck up on us. I feel like
Totally did.
we've got a lot to get into now and really through the next couple of weeks. Kenny Dillingham, the new look staff, the just completely different roster for the Sun Devils. So let's take a look at just what the schedule is going to look like here over the next couple of weeks. So they start practice. The very first spring football practice is March 14th, and it looks like they go every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for the next few weeks. And then obviously the spring game is going to be on April 15th. The time for that is still TBD. I know we had some people on social media asking, but it is going to take place after the Pats run. So before we get into even spring ball, what do you guys think about that spring game taking place on the 15th?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is so awesome to do it after Pat's run.
Holy,
Yeah.
we got breaking news.
Oh, boy.
Good breaking news. So, former Arizona State defensive line coach Robert Rodriguez is staying in the state,
Whoa.
becoming the Cardinals' outside linebacker coach.
Oh, hell yeah.
Whoa.
Per Shefty.
That's awesome.
Wow,
Congrats,
congratulations.
man.
He was a great, just an absolute congrats, man.
Congrats, man.
Like he's right there.
He was a great coach. And I
Yeah.
think the players really, really enjoyed the vibe that he brought.
What position you say he's getting?
He is the outside linebackers coach.
Okay.
Oh, so you mean the position that they draft for no reason and then they don't play?
Exactly.
Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's good for him.
The
I think
bar
that's a good hire.
is the 4. So
For the Cardinals?
no, for outside linebacking positional coaches.
It's awesome though to have him obviously stay in the state, and we know that there was a lot of players that really did enjoy what he brought to the
was
field.
awesome.
He was
So
awesome.
it's awesome. Spring game,
Can I-
15th. Yes.
Can I
continue.
get to Aaron's comment
You
before
can.
we?
Yeah.
Aaron says, "I'm upset that I missed the obscure athlete episode, but I would like to submit Isaiah Mustafa from ASU for
The
the
Old
show.
Spice guy.
For those of you who don't know, the guy that's in the Old Spice commercials, that's on the horse shirtless, that
Mhm.
is an ASU.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Also a
wide
great
receiver,
name.
I believe.
That is
wide receiver.
Isaiah Mustafa is a.
Or was it is he a safety? I gotta look it up.
What do you guys think about the spring game being the same day as the Pats run?
I think it's awesome. Like, I mean, literally, why not? You're gonna have. It's just like strategically speaking, just makes a lot of sense. You're gonna have a fuck ton of people right there. Like, why not do it right then? And obviously Kenny set his sights high in terms of what he expects in terms of fan turnout for the spring game. So this puts him in a pretty good position to do that. I was going to mention when we talked about it yesterday, right? Yeah. Briefly, Colorado, they went from like having 1,000 people, 1,000 and some change
For
at a
free.
free spring game
Yep.
to having 35,000 or whatever it is paid ticket like to go to their spring game this year. So that 40,000 is not unrealistic, as unrealistic as I thought it was when he first said it.
Can I try something?
Go ahead.
Depends.
Dion Coach Prime Sanders.
Oh, God.
Dion Coach
boy.
Prime Sanders. Dion Coach Prime Sanders. Sing
He's
it,
gonna
man.
appear
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not
like
him.
Bloody Mary.
No, not him. The
box?
DNVR buff people.
Ah.
See if he appears.
See if he appears.
They appear.
He did. Oh, I saw it on social media. We'll get to it another day. But he was saying some shit that was just irritating to me.
Oh, you mean you being irritated by Deion Sanders?
Yeah. Well,
Shocker.
just the way he was talking about recruits was irritating to me, and like the certain players that it's. I don't know. It's a whole thing, guys.
Okay.
But spring ball, obviously, a couple weeks away. What are you excited for most,
It's hard not to say.
aside from football coming back?
I was going well, like specifically. I mean, for me, it's hard not to say the quarterback competition.
Yeah.
Especially because Rashada won't be here for spring ball, right? Or will he?
I am not 100% sure, to be honest with you.
So I mean, it'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays out, whether or not he is here. Because if he's not here, I mean, Pine and Bourget are going to have a head start. Especially like that. I mean, that them having a head start only matters so much, but to me, it matters more in the sense that Rashad is going to have less time to learn the system and all that. It's a quarterback competition for sure. But it's just kind of see what the vibes are. I mean, last year was the first time I'd ever been to an ASU practice, and it was interesting.
It was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird. Yeah,
The vibes were off.
they were off. It felt a little odd.
The only energy I saw was Nesta.
Yeah, literally. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of how the vibes are different, because it just obviously seems like there's a whole new energy around this program. I expect the music selection to be better.
yeah, it's got to be, right?
It's got to be
It
better.
can't get worse.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it a lot last year when we talked about it. When you go to practices like this, you could tell the difference between like a winning program and a not necessarily a losing program, but a non-winning program.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be the spring ball is going to be huge to kind of set the precedent for what Kenny Dillingham's ASU football program looks like.
Yeah.
All I want is competitiveness.
Yes.
It was so slow. It was going through the motions. Like, somebody would get a pick every now and then, and they would follow him and jump. I want like every rep to mean something.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like
100%.
every rep meant anything at all.
No.
Kenny's going to push these guys, but not only Kenny, but the entire staff. We know what the staff is built of. I'm so excited to see Samples running his drills. I'm so excited to see the defense running their drills this year. Like, we didn't get that last year.
Yeah.
We didn't get that at all last year.
No.
I think the vibes is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Just see what this team's about.
And
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think we got to see last year in a few instances, just like the coaches interacting with the players, obviously an entirely new coaching staff, just to see, we know a little bit based on our interaction with them and what we've seen, like what kind of people they are, but we haven't gotten to see them interact with players and who they are as coaches, really. So that'll be interesting to me too.
I talked with Tamaro after a game, and he was he said he was talking to Kenny, and Kenny's still adamant about being available for every single practice after
awesome.
every single day.
We'll see.
And Doug was like, that's pretty crazy, but he wants to
wanna
do it. So
I mean, again, the benefit of having a young coach, like, obviously, I don't know that Herm would have ever done this in his career, but Herm had a pretty good relationship with the media. Like, he was a media guy.
Yeah, but it was never like the difference between Kenny and the other coaches that you've seen here, and specifically looking at the last two, right, and Herm and Todd, is like those guys came in here and they had an idea of how they wanted to run the team.
Mhm.
What Kenny is doing is Kenny is trying to build a community and a program. So that, in terms of the availability all the time, every day,
Well, yeah,
like
100%.
that is not that's not something that the other coaches felt like they needed to do, because
Yes.
in my mind they weren't here to build a culture or build a program,
which is a problem.
which is
Start
a
off.
problem.
100%.
But in some instances, you look at coaches that are able to just come in and have success. Like, that culture and that program is already established.
Yeah.
It is already built. Like, it has been so long since Arizona State football has been relevant consistently on a national level that you do have to kind of tear down the walls and start over. And that, I think, just even in something as small as being available to the media every single day, like, that shows how committed he is to this.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny understands this. What I was going to say is that like whether or not Herm wanted to, the reality is he's an older guy. Like to do that every single day after standing out in the sun for a few hours in practice, like that is going to be draining. So the benefit of having a young coach, but you're 100% right. Like I said, he understands the assignment. I think Herm specifically understood that, you know, you have to interact with the media. So let's have a good relationship. Kenny, it seems like, understands that he can not necessarily use the media, but he can benefit from that relationship with the media. And by being open, not just through the media, but what the fans hear and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, he's trying to build something. I think it's bigger than building a program. It's building a community for sure.
If you want to make a difference, just be good at your job. Whatever you do, you can't just show up for the hours you're supposed to work. You can't just show up. If you want to be a good sales guy, you can't show up for the 4 hours that you're knocking doors and just, you have to prep. And there just wasn't a lot of that last year.
Yeah, like, you can, but you're not going to be successful.
You can get by. Yeah. You could be 6-6.
Yeah, exactly.
But fans don't want 6-6 anymore.
No,
they want a guy that lives and breathes this.
Yeah, you can be 6-6 in an empty stadium.
Yeah,
I would take that a step further and say that even in the first couple of years here, you don't even have to be good at your job. You just have to show up and show that you are giving 120% to this place, which the last season of the Todd Graham era, it didn't feel like he gave 120%, or at least there was so much divide in the program and on the roster and in the locker room that it just didn't feel that way. And then you look at Herm, and I think there was a pretty good understanding that whatever Herm was going to do last year, it wouldn't have mattered because he was going to be gone this next offseason, or he was going to be pushed out. And it never felt, if I'm being honest, outside of his first season, and even then, like when you have your introductory press conference and it is questioned whether or not you know the mascot of the program that you just took the job at, that in and of itself is enough of a sign to be like, you aren't 120% committed to this place.
What do you mean by good at your job? You just mean like winning game. You don't have to win 7 games.
No, you don't need to turn this thing around and win 10 games and be ranked in the AP top 25.
You have to be good at your job.
Yes, but it goes
finish last in the conference.
I get what you're saying.
You got to show up with a mentality of, I'm building something, and just because it's not done immediately doesn't mean that you aren't giving 100%.
Yeah, I feel like Herm in his tenure here, he showed up and it was like, okay, I have to win this game, and then I have to win the next game, and which you have to do, obviously, and that's part of the focus. But like you said, I don't think it was ever, what does this game mean for the bigger picture? What is the bigger picture? I don't think there ever really was a bigger picture.
There was never a question of like, okay, what did
he want ASU football to be and become?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think you can question that.
And I don't think it matters.
He knew.
And I don't think it matters. And I think one thing that ASU fans need to do is stop comparing. Like, it's good to have a baseline, but this is the new standard now, and he's going to set it. So the only thing that you can compare right now is what Kenny did last week. So next year you can compare what Kenny did last year.
Yeah.
But I think it's unfair to compare what teams were doing in 2010, what teams were doing in 2018, because it's just completely different now, and the landscape has changed completely. So
but I don't think I do. Well, the landscape has changed. I don't think how coaches treat programs has changed. Like,
I'm with you on that.
I don't think, like, forever coaches have had to come into programs and understand that they have to build a program.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know. But I'm saying,
are you talking like coaching style? What do you like?
I'm talking about you can't compare what Herm did to what Kenny is doing right now, because that's just not going to help you. No shit, it's completely different.
Well, I know it's not going to help you, but I think it gives you a good baseline of what to do and what not to do.
And I think it's important to understand the job that
or from
Kenny
a fan
has.
perspective of just saying.
But a child could see what Herm did wrong. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Kenny is.
You think that, but how long did it take for Ray in the university to do something about Herm in the football program as it was?
Yeah, but that's not going to help what's happening.
I think it's important to mention and I guess put it in the context of Herm, to understand fully what Kenny's job is, like what the work he has in front of him, because part of that work is the damage that Herm and Graham, specifically Herm, did to the program and to the fan base. Understanding that ASU fans have had to go through 2 decades essentially of coaches who did not have the investment that Kenny appears to have. I think it's important to understand that when talking about, like I said, what Kenny has in front of him.
Right, and that's why history books are important.
Yeah.
To remember what you did wrong. But I'm saying from an ASU fan, it's good for him to realize that. It's good for him to do that.
That's fair.
But for ASU fans to just keep remembering the shit all in all, and you lose one game, and then you start comparing this to a Herm team.
Is a problem.
That you can't do that.
But I will say, on the other hand, it is, I think it forces you to appreciate Kenny a little bit more.
Yeah,
when
no,
you
100%.
compare.
It's like a relationship.
Because like we talk a lot about how ASU fans need to support. Like we've had the conversation many times about chicken or the egg. Does the product need to be there? Do the fans need to be
Yep.
there?
A vicious cycle.
It's important for the fans
It's got to go hand in hand.
to know that like Kenny is he has to work on what the damage that has been done, like I said. And know that he's actually trying to build something. It's different than, even if he loses game one, it is different. You have to understand it's different than what Herm has been doing. It is not the same because you can see the differences between what Herm did and what Kenny did.
Mhm.
So as far as the fans are concerned, I think it's important to have that perspective, just so you realize that if he loses game one, or even if he loses every game this season, well, that's a little dramatic, I guess, but even if he loses to U of A, like it's obviously you want to win that game, but it's a little bigger than that, especially when you compare it to Herm.
Yeah, and I think we're getting a little too far out there looking at game one in the season in general. We're talking spring ball here. Obviously, part of the revamp of this program was the signing class and the just sheer number of transfers that they got in the transfer portal. Is there any player specifically that they got from the transfer portal on the offensive and defensive side of the ball that you are most excited to see here in about 19 days?
Oh, I mean, Drew Pine, I feel like is an easy answer just because, especially if Rashada's not there in spring ball, that's your guy for right now. You have to at least assume that he is better than Bourguet, I would say. And the reality is like, obviously Rashad is a great product, but we have a guy that's performed at a high level in Division I football, and Rashad is an unknown.
Top 25 team.
So there's a chance that Rashada, like, obviously we're hoping he's amazing, as amazing as his high school rankings and all that suggest, but there's a chance that he's not. And so early on, you're going to get a look at a guy that very well could be your starter. And even if Rashada is good, could still start over Rashada year one.
Yeah.
So that's big to me.
I don't know how game's going to translate. It's impossible to tell. You can put a ranking, you can put a number, you can put stars, whatever. Gut feeling, Rashada starts.
I agree.
Gut feeling, Rashada wins this job in spring ball.
I agree with you for sure.
Just because of the landscape of college football.
You kind of having have to,
that,
or you're going to lose
and,
type thing.
And just imagining what Kenny did with Bo Nix in 1 year, what he can do with a guy with the talent that Rashada has, regardless of what his decision making is or was or can be. Being able to change that and having 3 years to sculpt a guy like you would Play-Doh in Rashada,
start that project early.
It's going to be ridiculous, I think. Rashada's awesome. I've talked about Guillory a ton. I think he's going to be really fun. Super freak athlete on the offense side of the ball. Defense side of the ball, I'd say Clayton Smith. I mean, You need a general out there. ASU lost their general in Soley and Merlin Robertson.
Yeah. I've talked a lot about Prince Dobra. It's honestly the handful of Texas guys that are here. That I'm interested in.
One thing that I noticed in the punters, just special teamers in general, because that whole
Carlson,
unit is,
right?
Yeah, that whole unit looks different.
Yeah.
One thing that I saw a lot of, and I guess we're back in football season, so I can start to say Notre Dame more again. But one thing that I think you noticed a lot more.
It is interesting how we cycle, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm relevant in basketball. You're relevant in football.
There you go. Just in, well, not even Notre Dame, but when I would go to some of the games and watch practices of other programs that were established in elite, right, is like the whole mentality of iron sharpens iron here, and that's what you saw at those programs, the competitiveness, and you got it A, from guys in the transfer portal, or B, guys from high school classes or whatever. Like that over the course of the last handful of years hasn't always felt like it's been the mantra or mentality at ASU. It's been like a pecking order of like, okay, we know who the guys on this team are, and the rest are the backups, the depth guys who it's the next man up, which is what it is. But in reality, you want your team to be crafted in a way where there is a 1A and a 1B, not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Yeah. So I think that's what you get now when you've got guys like a Clayton Smith. You've got guys like Prince, or even on the offensive side of the ball, Jake Smith, and the handful of wide receivers that you've got, right? You've got guys that are hungry.
Yeah, there's legitimate competition at every single position.
Which there wasn't last year.
I mean, the receivers are interesting because Elijah's going to be, and tight ends, obviously. We know who the tight ends are. Elijah's going to be the number one receiver, presumably. But outside of that, like there's a lot of competition in almost every single position.
Dude.
Because even last year, obviously we had transfer quarterbacks, but we were pretty confident that Emory would be starting. This year, obviously, I feel relatively confident, like Shane, that Rashada will start, but he is a freshman, And like I said, you have Drew Pine. Conover is the great unknown, and then you have the returning starter. So like there is every single quarterback here has a different leg up on the others.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be fascinating. And then the defense is just all over the place, man.
Sleeper position. What's your sleeper position group that you think is going to be way better than people think?
Way better than people
I
think.
just feel like no one talks about, like we haven't talked about the secondary at all.
The safety position.
Yeah.
You're getting Isaiah Johnson back.
Yep.
And
Who was
Xavier,
amazing last year.
and
at
Xavier
times.
Alford.
Yep.
Dude.
I obviously the bigger names, specifically obviously the quarterback position, but I think there's been a lot of just people, like I said, people haven't been talking about the secondary.
People have talked about this entire transfer portal since the end of last season. I still think the pass catchers are underrated.
The pass catchers.
I still think the tight end and wide receiver group is going to be top 3 in the pack.
I mean,
genuinely.
Utah-esque tight end room. They have 2 legitimate guys at tight end.
They
They have one
used-
very
if they're
legitimate
used
guy at
correctly.
tight end. But I mean, we saw last year that Conyers can be one of the best tight ends in the country, I think.
Yeah.
And besides Winston, you don't remember is a big guy. He's tall. And
He's
tall.
Hey,
Hey,
Cusco, look how tall this guy is.
Messiah. I don't think I've ever done the Cusco or the what's it, Kronk voice?
Kronk,
I don't think I've ever done it on all the times that you guys have done it. I don't think I've ever partaken.
Well, he does it. I
partaken.
just fucking sit there and laugh at it.
Hey, Messiah.
Hey, Messiah, go run a fade.
But yeah, I mean, I 100%.
And Shamari Simmons.
Yeah, but
Another
casual.
safety.
the reality is,
three safeties that came out of high school as 4 stars.
yeah, say we didn't get a single pass catcher transfer, and we were coming into the season with
I'd be fine with it.
right Swinson, Conover, Conyers,
And
Gio, and Badger.
I'm fine
That's a
with it.
pretty solid. Obviously, there's no depth there if that's all you got. I mean, I love Chad Johnson Jr., but obviously
Still an unknown.
Yeah, like they're the pass catchers are pretty good, and they got better.
Yeah, absolutely. I
'Cause
would have loved.
the pass catchers were never really. I mean, they were part of the problem, but it was
I mean,
more their utilization. And
Exactly.
the questions around quarterback.
Exactly, right.
And the struggles on the offensive line. Like the guys on the roster were pretty good last year.
We heard so much
Elijah
about Charles
Badger
Hall.
Was 2 inches away from one of the greatest plays in
Yes.
Sun Devil history.
Yeah.
One
One of the
that's not an
craziest
exaggeration.
catches ever.
I know the game didn't mean a lot, but in a vacuum with just that play, one of the greatest plays in Sun Devil history.
Didn't Conyers have a 3 touchdown game?
He
He
did.
did.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
That
crazy.
guy's good at
It's
football,
crazy
guys.
when you utilize talented
Yeah.
players.
Right. And the thing I don't understand is how often we saw them run 12 and 13 personnel in spring ball.
Yeah.
And we never saw it.
Never.
Never.
I'm excited
Case
for the
Hatch was
offensive line
supposed to be a
group.
tight end, guys. There
Yeah, we
running
heard
13
so
with
much. We
Case
heard
Hatch.
so much about Case Hatch's utilization and like
Because
he-
Case Hatch was utilized the year before.
well, game
and-
one
but-
he did something. Glenn Thomas, dude.
I don't even want to mention his name again. But
I
we
hope
saw
you're
in spring
somewhere.
ball. I remember the first moment where they ran out 13 personnel and Case Hatch was lined up as tight end. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What is happening this year?
Might
Like,
be
where
fun.
This
Might
might
be
be
fun.
fun. It was not.
It was.
We
not
never
fun.
saw a tight end play football for ASU again.
Oh, that's just not true.
Why
in
did-
theory,
mean,
What were you saying?
offensive line.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think Justin Guys and Ben Coleman and Bram Walden. Not to mention you get Joey Ramos back and the rest of the guys.
see what the growth of Isaiah Glass is.
We
My
like
guy.
didn't even talk about the fact that they got, I want to say 1 or 2 JUCO offensive linemen.
Yes.
They got a ton.
The
though.
JUCO guys are also great.
I believe the offensive tackle they got from JUCO at one point was like the number 3
ranked
JUCO,
JUCO prospect.
and
yeah.
he's like 6'8".
yeah.
Like he's massive. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the competition in the trenches is going to be great because it's going to push guys like an Isaiah
and
Glass.
they need to be pushed, like especially Isaiah. I mean, a team full of local kids is one of the OG local kids. And there was high expectations for him. I've said it multiple times. I think he was disappointing a lot last year. There's a chance for growth, and hopefully that competition pushes him. Because I would love for him. I drafted him as one of my guys this
Yeah,
year.
you did.
I would love for him to be a mainstay on that offensive line. Because
Who? Is that
Isaiah Glass, yeah, he's only a sophomore, right? Like he's got if he can,
Redshirt sophomore, I think.
yeah, if he can claim his stake this year on the offensive line, you got a solid piece for 2 more years.
Yeah,
presumably.
absolutely. The competition during spring ball is going to be exciting. Guys, if you're trying to get in some competition a little bit earlier than that, do it on February 25th because Four Peaks has got you covered with a beer can derby. Guys, if speed and adrenaline is, well, your speed, like we said, the 8th Street Pub is the place for you. Kit pickups are open now, so if you want to show us you got the fastest beer can in the valley, sign up through fourpeaks.com/events. You got to be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. Gents, you guys are drinking some Four Peaks here on a Thursday afternoon. What do we got?
I'm rocking the Golden Lager right now. Slept on. It's the AS. It's the
The
secondary.
can is slept on too.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. What can? Obviously, Hazy is a great can. It's probably the best can they have. But
That's
what
number
can
2.
would you choose for your derby car?
Oh, for like
Ooh.
like what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's
The
gotta be
gold?
it's gotta be the Joy Bus.
The gold?
Mm.
Nah. I love the Joy Bus, but Joy Bus has kind of like a mellow vibes. Like I need
think
something that
this
feels
looks really.
fast.
I think this would look really cool.
Fast.
Spinning.
Ooh, okay.
That would look cool.
I feel like if you do this right, and I'm trying not to spill this, but you get the gold on the top, Four Peaks logo
Whoa,
right
you're
there. That could
getting
be a
close to spilling.
nah. I'm drinking a lot of it already. This would look like a cool can
Mm.
or a
would.
cool car.
I've always wanted to participate in those ones where you build your own go karts, but there's no motor. They're just you go down a hill really fast.
Oh, I like the yes, those and
look so fun.
the Red Bull like makeshift plane things that they do where they throw it off the cliff into the water.
those are
That
oh,
looks awesome,
dude. Many a night has been spent watching those.
many a night.
Many
has
a
been
night.
spent.
Also, the Red Bull ice skating thing where they just do like they dress like hockey players, where they just downhill ice skate.
I know
races.
we're in an ad
Awesome.
read, but if you want to go down a rabbit hole tonight, look up Schlogged and Rob on YouTube. One of the best foreign game shows of all time. It's this one guy. I don't know his name. It might be Rob, like RAAB. It's contestants participate or people going against him in competitions. It's random people versus this one guy. It's
Awesome.
contestants versus this one
That
guy.
sounds like my
and a
kind of
bunch
show.
of random shit like putting down. It's
That I would be the perfect host. For a
literally
show like
used
that.
to watch that, get hammered, and watch it until like 4 a.m.
Yeah,
It's
well,
one of the
it-
greatest shows ever.
If you're gonna
With
go
some
down
Four Peaks.
a rabbit hole, did you say 21?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna go down a rabbit hole, make sure you got your Four Peaks. Make sure you got your Burrito Express. Lock it in front of that computer. You'll have yourself a day. Like you can waste a whole 24 hours doing that.
not
Schlogged
a
and
waste.
Rob needs to be on a TV.
Yeah, as long as you got 12, 15 pack of Four Peaks and
A
3
3-pack of
burritos.
burritos.
Yeah, you could have yourself a day. And obviously, it's not just any burritos; it's Burrito Express burritos. And they have 2 new NIL athletes. One of them, Elijah Badger, we just talked about him, number 1 receiver on ASU football, dog. And then a woman that we heard from recently, the one and only Jazz Hill. Both signed NIL deals with Burrito Express recently. They're going to receive cash support, clothes, and of course, burritos, Schlogged and Rob. It has nothing to do with Burrito Express. I would take any of us in a Burrito Express eating competition against Schlogged or Rob or whatever his name was.
Schlogged and Rob, yeah.
Schlogged-
Who do you
yeah,
think out of the 3 of us could
Win this?
could eat 5 burritos first
Shane.
in a sitting?
Shane. I my stomach fills up fast. I'm more of a intermittent. I'll eat.
It
Small
would
things.
take me probably 8 hours
To eat 5 burritos?
to eat 5. Because
Oh, brother,
You
give
fill
me
up
2
after
hours.
2. No.
Yeah.
How high am I?
can you throw up?
No.
Okay,
Then
then
that's
yeah,
tough.
then 8 hours.
You ever watch Man vs. Food? Adam Richmond?
Yes.
I don't know if that's
Dude, you're
'cause those-
telling me.
you're-
Wait,
not-
we
we're not-
didn't talk about this. My man's tummy hurt from jambalaya
and a smoothie.
and a smoothie.
Brother, that's an odd combination.
5 burritos,
Dude, 5 burritos. Listen. I grew up husky, bro.
Yeah,
That fat kid is chained up inside my tummy somewhere.
I'm
and he
large.
I was gonna say, I'm not. I wasn't gonna say because I
Yeah,
wasn't trying to take a
Jesus.
shot at Shane.
Whoa,
But
he just called me fat. Why
no,
would
no,
that-
no. Shane's a big guy.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
the largest of the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude, no, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I know, I'm kidding. Yeah.
I know. I'm taking myself out of
Yeah,
that
if the
competition.
husky kid's locked in there somewhere, my husky kid has me locked in somewhere.
Yeah, the skinny kid.
Come on now. What does that have to do with anything?
I'm skinny, and I've always been skinny.
Oh,
I don't have anything for you there. I'm skinny. I've been freed.
You're a skinny queen.
I'm a skinny queen.
It's
I just
getting
snapped in case you
zesty
couldn't
on
hear.
there. There we go.
But yeah, shout out Burrito Express. Shout out Elijah Badger. Shout out Jazz Hill. Burrito Express. Get it in you.
Get it in you. Guys, so spring ball is going to go from March to April, and then you've got some fun in June. Arizona State's going to be hosting some football camps. June 3rd, June 6th, June 8th, June 13th, and June 15th.
Mega Camp. Awesome band name. The greatest band name of all time.
Mega
Wow.
camp.
Murder on a Liar.
Big Man
Oh,
Camp
yeah.
goes crazy too. No, does it not?
No.
It'd be weird if you and I were in Big Man Camp. Well, not. I mean,
Why wouldn't it be weird if I was?
you're a tall dude.
no, I'm kidding, Sean.
I guess I'm kind of. I'm average height. I
No,
feel.
you're not.
Well, I know I'm above average, but like no one's like 6'2". You're tall as hell.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't make the NBA.
You might. Isn't Mac McClung 6'2"?
I
think
cannot
he's
jump
6'1".
like Mac McClung.
You don't know that.
How tall was Steve Nash?
6'3"?
6'4".
Wow.
Really?
That's crazy.
Steve Nash is my height.
Guys, what do
He's
you
my
think?
height. He still is. He didn't shrink.
What do you
That
think
you know
about
of.
ASU hosting some of these
Honey, I
camps.
Shrunk the Nash.
It looks like they're more high school camps.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Honey, I Shrunk the veteran point guard from Santa Clara.
the Canadian veteran point guard from Santa Clara who played soccer growing up. No, I mean, we talked about it. We briefly mentioned it yesterday, but this is just, it's cool because it's different. It's something new, and it gets back to the whole
Community.
the community thing, just kind of turning over a new page on ASU football. Kenny's trying to make ASU football into one of those programs. Like, obviously, this sounds a little dramatic, but I think if you were to ask Kenny, he would agree that he wants it to be, you know, Alabama, Oklahoma, LSU, ASU. Like, he wants to be a part of that. He wants to be one of the biggest programs in the country. And whether or not that's realistic, it's not. But
Why isn't it realistic?
They deleted that tweet,
What
tweet?
tweet?
the one we threw up.
The
no,
camp one?
Mons tweeted that out, right?
No, the camp one they tweet. I got this morning from.
Yeah, they tweeted it out and then deleted it. But Mons did tweet it out. Let's see if his is still up.
Interesting. Maybe a date change or something. I'm not going to try and read into it. I have to assume they're still going to hold the camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to tweet out 5 dates.
And like I said, and I think it'll get people here to just see that this program is different. It is
What-
not your dad's ASU.
What exactly are the camps?
It looks like they're for high schoolers.
Yeah.
Passing academies and big man camps are usually for high schoolers getting ready to move on to college.
My
Um,
understanding is that high school recruits here, and then there'll be coaches from a variety.
I think
of
it would be
schools.
dope if they also included like a youth camp.
Yeah,
Because
that's where it starts, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like Kenny has talked about multiple times. Part of his love for Arizona State was, you know, growing up, right? And like you go to tailgates with your family, your parents, and you've got ASU football games, you got Cardinals games, you got Suns games, you got Coyotes games, whatever, right? And it starts as a kid, right? Like you're a Buffalo Bills fan, but when
Yeah.
was the very first like time that you're like, damn, I'm a Bills fan,
I mean, before I can remember,
right? So like it
was-
starts when you're super
yeah,
young.
100%.
And so we've talked at times about recruiting and what this does long term. And I guess this is more of like a chestnut checkers thing. But like getting kids this ingrained and associated with ASU so early on. Let's say you have someone turn into a 4-star, a 5-star,
Yeah.
and they're a senior in high school, and they've got 50 plus offers. But guess what? Like their dream school, where their love for football started, was in Tempe, going to a ASU youth camp with Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah,
there.
because I mean, there might be people out there who are like, oh, ASU's a joke, blah, blah, blah. Kids are super impressionable. Like, you get kids around people that they think are celebrities, which college football players are to young children. Like, they're super impressionable. And you see this around a bunch of other schools. Syracuse, they hold Jim Boeheim holds a basketball camp every summer, and it's kids from 9 to 18
Mm-hmm.
from all over the country. They come and they participate in this basketball camp. And the young kids, fucking, this is a little bit of a tangent. They kept calling me Devin Booker and Myth, TSM Myth, the video
Mhm.
game streamer. And like, that part's a joke, but like also like they are around a lot of people that they think are really, really big deals. And if they like that, like I said, kids are impressionable. That leaves an impression at a young age. And you see it all the time. Kids are like, oh, I went to this camp when I was younger, or they have pictures of them at a camp when they were younger wearing the merch, and then they grow up to be playing at that school. Like, it can't do anything to hurt.
Yeah. Well, just screw what does this do for ASU as a football program? Just good for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's just-
like you said, yeah.
It's like I remember going to Suns basketball camps when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was so fun. I had so much fun doing it that I was a counselor for those
Mhm.
same camps for 3-4 years. Shout out Bill Frieder, ASU. Coached Ted Smith and that team. He was the lead on those camps. And he got me the job doing those. Very fun. And just the feeling of giving back to the community
Yeah.
is great. But this is like, it does do something for future, but I also feel like Kenny wants to do this more for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
He seems like he's just such a selfless dude.
yeah, and you mentioned like some of these kids might turn into 4-stars. Some of these kids might never play football again.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what they might do?
Show
Start
up to
going to ASU football
exactly.
games. And that gets part of it.
Win.
This is it's you might get a kid who ends
There's
up being
some.
one of the greatest ASU players of all time. You also might get the next PHNX Sun Devils host. Like,
Is Gerald here?
Is one of us getting fired?
I don't know. We're talking 10 years from now.
Gerald?
Girth,
No, I don't think he
Okay.
is. He does that song on the or he
win.
Win.
Okay, guys. Well, you can win on Underdog Fantasy. It's easy to get started. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with promo code PHNX, and Underdog is going to match your first deposit up to 100 bones. Exchange rate
1-1.
Guys, the NBA is back tonight, so there is plenty to get in on the action. Again, Underdog Fantasy, go do it. Pick them high or lower. And if the NBA is not really your speed, you can combine NHL, esports, and really anything you want. Guys, go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with promo code PHNX. And again, Underdog's going to match your first deposit up to 100 bizons.
Also, get that scratch back. It's easy to withdraw on Underdog. If you win a good amount. Feels like a while ago, but during the show. For 50% off your next
Dude,
order,
he switches up so quick.
at Bad
Yeah,
Birdie.
no, that's crazy.
What? I
We
don't
can
know.
both be as PH next
I never said you were.
Yes,
mine.
you did.
You did.
Oh, I
100%
did
yesterday.
yesterday? Shit.
Yes, and then he did the whole goofy.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't mean it
Gosh.
yesterday.
don't do it again.
I'm not.
If you want to look fresh on the golf course, or just look fresh when you're walking around. I mean, I saw like thousands of them
Mhm.
this last
Yeah.
weekend or 2 weekends ago.
I was the best dressed person at Dobson Ranch.
Plain and simple.
Literally, you might think I'm joking. I'm
No,
not.
I agree.
Thank you.
And
The only thing that separated me from Totri is that I had that.
Yeah.
Totri's the second.
Can we go
best
back
person.
next weekend?
well, also you
I
had
would.
your pants tucked in.
I did. I look like a golfer.
Yeah, he looked good.
I look good.
What did I look like?
You looked like a
really.
golfer too, but he looked like a pro golfer.
He looked like the golfer.
yeah,
looked
he looked like the golfer, like the what's it called? The guy
Him.
is that from Spy Kids 3D?
Mm.
The guy that's wearing silver.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You were looking
Is
fresh.
he the
You were looking
guy
fresh.
or the man?
I
The
don't
guy.
remember.
I
That
think
movie
yeah,
was
it's the guy.
Electric.
That movie's amazing.
Um,
And so is badbirdygolf.com. As I said, PHNX BB15. Put that in as a code. Get 15% off your next order at badbirdygolf.com.
God, Jacob, that lower third is fucking sexy.
It is fire.
Before we get into your last segment, I just want to shout out a little bit of a rant. Kenny Dillingham knows how to play spades.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know anything about
Yep.
spades. It holds a special place in the black community. And I don't know if you've ever watched football. A lot of black people playing football. It gets back to the thing we were talking about with Kenny being super, like, being young and relating to these kids. Like, he's a dude. Like, he's a cool guy. And
He's a
like,
fun guy.
enemies are made, but friends are made playing spades. And he also plays chess. He's fucking...
I'm so
I love you, Kenny.
I'm so glad DePaz is on our show, not only because he's one of my best friends,
Yeah,
thank
but
you.
also imagine me saying that. Shout out Kenny. He knows how to play spades. And I don't know if you guys know this, but spades is very big in the black community.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that just doesn't feel right.
No.
The blacks
Doesn't
play
sound
spades.
right.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Cut that out right now.
So we're going to play
Shane has never said anything like that. I just want to make that very clear. I don't want to paint him in a bad light.
21
know of,
questions.
at least.
21 questions before we get out of here. Okay? Just moving right along here.
That's a really smart idea. That's why you're the host.
So, same rules as normal. You guys have 21 questions, yes or no questions, to guess what I'm thinking of here, boys. And I will keep track of the questions per usual. Chat, you can always chime in as well with guesses. Sean, what do you got? Question number 1.
Is it a place? Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
like
it is. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Are there multiple of them?
Not that I know of, no.
Is it located in Arizona?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Does it have anything to do with universities?
Does it have anything to do with sports?
No.
You shouldn't have asked that first question because that threw me off.
Yeah, I
I didn't like
didn't
how
expect
he-
a yes, to be
I didn't
honest.
like
I
how
was
he
just going to go
answered that.
person, place, thing.
I did not
Yeah.
like how he answered that.
Neither did I.
It is a place.
Is it
a place.
only a place?
Yes. Yes, I'm thinking of a place.
Oh, God. Is it located in the United States?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it on the West Coast?
Yes.
Okay. Let's narrow down states.
Is it in California?
No.
Okay.
See, the tricky thing with this is state by state, you are going to burn questions quickly.
Is it in the Pacific Northwest?
No.
Is it Nevada?
No to you. Yes to you.
Okay.
Is it the Pac-12 tournament?
No.
Okay. I want to get that out of the way.
Is it in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. Is it the Excalibur?
It is the
Let's go!
Excalibur
I knew
Hotel,
it. I
baby.
fucking knew it.
I can't wait to go
So are
back.
we staying at the Excalibur again?
I hope
does
it's a
that
yes.
mean?
I don't give a shit what they think.
I'm fine staying at the
enjoy
Excalibur.
being at Excalibur. I feel like Shane, or I feel like Saul's gonna be like, you guys are staying in an Airbnb in Henderson.
In Henderson, dude.
We're staying in Searchlight.
I don't even know what that is.
Yep.
That was the best we've ever done on 21 Questions, by the way.
Yeah, you guys did it. Well, you guys like rattled off
the
questions.
first question was a good one. And then
well, you guys, we've done this multiple times, and for some reason, you guys never ask person, place, or thing. You just go straight into like, "Can I eat it?" Like immediately.
Why,
It's just Roman.
why did you hesitate if it's a place?
Because it's a place within a place.
No, it's just a place.
No, the Excalibur.
I understand what you're saying.
Every
I don't-
place
Vegas.
is a place within a place.
I don't think you should have. I don't think it should have. It warranted that much hesitation,
Yeah.
but I understand what you're saying.
That's fair.
Okay, well, I wasn't thinking about it in the moment.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Look, guys, something you don't have to overthink is going to Illegal Pete's because they've got fire food, fire drinks. I just found out the other day that they have Margarita Mondays. I did not know about this.
Really?
Yes. They
You know
have
today's
Margarita
National
Monday.
Margarita Day?
Is it really?
Yes.
How are we celebrating?
What are you doing after this?
ESPN Tucson at 4:20, but nothing after that.
Fucking blaze it.
Margaritas, guys.
Yep.
Nothing soothes the soul like fresh limes, tequila, lots of tequila. If
Berkeley
you're an
pear.
Arizona State sports fan, and sweet agave. Try out an Illegal Pete's Coin Premium or Frozen Marg. Stop by for happy hour 3 p.m. through 6 p.m. every single day.
Dog, those frozen bars going to hit this summer
Yes,
Mhm.
they are.
after a spring practice
Mm.
when it's like 800 degrees outside.
You know-
800 degrees.
You know what else hits?
Hmm.
Gerald's articles.
Ooh, Gerald Particles.
Yeah, they do.
Do
They,
hit.
they do hit. And most of them you can get it for free.
Yeah.
Go phnx.com.
But every now and again,
some of them
the good ones,
They're
the
just
best ones.
extra
They're all
spicy.
The especial ones.
And you got to be a diehard.
Modelo.
Plus, you get access to our members only Discord. Be a diehard. It's so much fun. We had a bunch of new members come in the
Yeah.
Discord 2 days ago, and it's just been popping.
Things you
Ask
love.
Chris. She's in the chat.
Yeah.
Discord. Coyotes Discord was going crazy last
Yeah.
night. They single-handedly brought the tank back.
If you want live betting updates, sometimes we throw them in the Discord as well, the PHNX Bets Discord. So make sure to become a diehard. You get a free T-shirt and hat every year.
The Discord sees everything.
Yeah,
Like
and,
we're only 3 people. The
Yeah.
Discord sees it all.
yeah, and you get discounts on events as well, and shirts and all that, all the good gabagoosh.
And I mean,
What a good guy.
the Suns are hosting a takeover soon, and I can promise you that if you didn't get in on that takeover, it's impossible to find tickets to a Suns game as cheap as the takeover was right
Yeah.
now. If they existed, Game Time app, link in description. But and we also got the new shirt, the Valley Reaper shirt.
Yeah, we do have the Valley Reaper shirt.
It's
Go to
money.
phnxlocker.com. Check that out. If you're a diehard, you get a discount on it. So become a diehard today.
Guys, that's going to do it for the Thirsty Thursday show.
Also, leave a like on the video, guys. Come
Yeah,
on.
do it.
You're lacking today.
If you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_sign-up. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane Deef. You can follow Sean to pause at Sean_to-pause.
The biggest fan of Excalibur, as always.
We will see you guys live at 2 p.m. on Friday to preview the Territorial Cup ASU U of A basketball game and have a little hot or not fun. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your Thirsty Thursday. Peace.